Why is it that every single time I try to sit down and do something, I automatically feel like shit? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. What are we doing today? I don't know. Half the time, I don't know what I'm doing. But here in front of me, I have my gouaches. Hope that's in frame. Don't know. And my Stay Wet palette and a palette knife. Oh my god, am I painting today? Maybe. My original plans have been soiled for the day. So I thought, why not paint instead? And just chill, I guess. But I love how I sit down and then I immediately end up feeling like shit. And there's paint all over my hands. I haven't even fucking started and I'm already a mess. Cool. My experience with gouache is very limited. And half the time, I get very frustrated by it. These are not all the gouaches I own. These are the tubed gouaches that I do own. I also have Himi gouache, but I have not touched that in quite some time because the last time it very much frustrated me and I decided, you know what, I'm just not going to touch gouache ever again. I really have no plans other than a sketch that's in my sketchbook, and that's about it. I really don't know how I'm going to approach this because typically when I paint with oils, I approach it very differently. But I guess we're just going to have some fun. Excuse my microphone. I have it right next to me, and I hope you can hear me. I prepped this, but I feel like maybe I did a bad job prepping it because it feels not that wet, but it's okay. Today we are painting a peach because I have plans for something in the future, and I want to get a little bit of practice painting some fruits before I even get started on painting, because I don't really know how I'm gonna approach this 100%. I'm kind of gonna do some swatches and some mixing, if you will, and I guess ramble. I'm between primary red, vermilion, primary blue, and ultramarine. The way I pick colors is usually I mix what would be the lightest value, technically the lightest color, with the darkest, and I don't really use black. The other thing is I could just do burnt sienna and a blue, which is like a go-to, but I feel like that would give me more of a fleshy color because it does give me more of a neutral base. And peaches aren't very fleshy. They're more vibrant, and I want that vibrancy. I really have no rhyme or reason the way that I'm placing these pigments. I'm just kind of putting them on my little palette, and we will see what happens. You know what's interesting is that these are both, I'm assuming, well, never mind, I answered my own fucking question. I'm an idiot. This one's permanent white, this one's opaque white, even though this one is more opaque than this one. I don't know, at least when I've used it, this one comes out like when I mix and also by itself, it's more opaque than this one. I don't know, this one feels more runny, which is interesting. Maybe because it's Winsor & Newton designers. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's okay. We will see. Do I want to do a little swatch just by itself, or do I want to get into mixing? My palette knife. I got it at Blick. My first time ever going in there because I usually order online because the closest Blick to my house is like an hour and a half away. Yeah. This might be too big for this palette, but I very much like this size and shape because the other ones I have this one that came in, I think, one of those like cheap like art bundles, I think. It's not the greatest. I don't like this big bend. It's not like, I feel like it's so steep in comparison. And it's just, it doesn't really work for me. Well, maybe I could use it. I don't know. And then I also have this one, which is the first one that I ever got myself. And like, it's fine. It works fine. It's just a little too sharp. And sometimes I feel like I'm gonna end up ripping into my palette, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna use this one for now, even though this one would probably be best because it's little, you know? Sometimes I have this issue when mixing in a palette, at least like this, where it's raised up, where I feel like I have a hard time mixing because, like, I don't know, whatever. I feel like the shit's already drying. Well, we'll give it a try with primary red, and I don't know, I'm kind of vibing. Oh fuck, I don't know which one I put down first. Damn, I think this is primary blue, and this looks like ultramarine. I'm kind of vibing with the ultramarine. Watch, I'm completely wrong and it's the primary blue. I don't know, it doesn't look like primary blue. Oh my god, it's purple. Who would have thought? Color theory. I want to get better at using gouache because it can very much be used like oil paint, and the masters back in the day used to use it like oil paint. You know, the problem with making a video without a script is that I'm going to be rambling 8 million times and talking 8 million circles and never get to the point. Because now that I'm looking at it, why the fuck am I mixing these two colors? Because peaches aren't purple. Anyways. Okay. I mean, it's a pretty purple, but whatever. Maybe I could use it for the shadows. I kind of want to do a base painting with burnt sienna. And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying, I would love to be able to paint with oil paints because I feel like it would be like a good practice for... I mean, did I say oil paints? I meant gouache. I can paint with oils. I mean, I do want to continue practicing with oils, but I want to get better at painting with gouache because so many artists have used... I mean, I feel like gouache has... I'm still just mixing purple. This is great. I'm going off to a great start. Anyways, I just don't know. Like, it's hard for me to comprehend in my own mind how artists use gouache as a supplementary to oils, where it's just like, oh, you need to do a quick practice painting. You do it on gouache because it dries quickly and it's cheaper materials and it's just faster or whatever. It's like, I just have such a hard time. I know you can glaze with gouache, but at the same time, I feel like I'm stupid. I don't know. This is why I usually don't talk when I'm trying to do something, because I can't focus. I guess we'll just kind of pick out the values of a peach, and it'll just look ugly on my palette because I was going into it thinking how I think when I paint with oils and I'm not painting a singular subject, or like the subject that I'm painting has more natural, or not natural, but like has more neutral colors. That's what it is. I'm going into this thinking about how I paint when the overall piece is pretty neutral, which is incorrect. Get your shit together, ma'am. And also, I need a limited palette because I get overwhelmed pretty easily. And this is not super overwhelming, but it is just a tiny bit overwhelming. What was I gonna do? I don't remember. I should just pick one fucking yellow, not two, because it's going to make me feel a type of way. That type of way is stressed. And we haven't even gotten to painting the actual fucking thing. That's great. Is this enough paint to paint what I have sketched in my sketchbook? No. Definitely not. I can tell you that. But in a way, it's more of just me trying to find the colors I think I would need, and then I can mix them again, which can sometimes be annoying. And when I'm painting, I try to like mix as much paint that I need, but it's never enough because I'm scared to put too much paint on my palette and then it goes to waste. Paint is expensive. At least that's with oils. The idea I have for this little practice, eventually, I do want to paint with oils. And I want to paint more colorful things with oils because I have mostly been painting neutral things like people, figures, and animals. And at least the animals that I have painted are more neutral colors. Like browns and creams. Except my mom's dog. He turned out more blue, but to be honest, his fur low-key looks blue. Not actually. Just like the gray undertones. I don't know, for the longest time. I mean, I love charcoal. I love painting with charcoal. I love drawing with charcoal. And for a while, I was mostly working with charcoal. And, you know, obviously, nature of the medium, it's in black and white and grayscale. I don't know, I don't usually go for color. But I've been wanting to use more color. Especially when I sketch, I typically just use pencil and not really add anything else. And then I bought myself some coal erase pencils, which I very much enjoy. And recently I've been sketching more with those. And I like the way colorful sketches look. They look nice because it just gives it a little something, especially when there's multiple and they're each in different colors. I think it looks cool. Let's add a tiny bit of red to that. Because like I mentioned before, I like a limited color palette because I tend to get overwhelmed, but also it makes it a little bit more cohesive. And I forgot what the term of this is called, but I tend to do it, I've been doing it in like, I think almost all of my paintings because my color palettes are so limited. Man, I don't remember what the hell it's called. But it's pretty much like what I just did, where I added a little bit of red in here, not necessarily to change the color, but to make I think it's called uniforming your palette. I'm not 100% sure. I'll look into that and confirm. But it's to pretty much make everything uniform. I didn't really do it with the brighter colors because I think it would be a little difficult. But I also really want those to pop. I didn't add blue to these, and I don't really want to, because I want those colors to pop. Pop a lock. Pop it, lock it. Polka dot it. Country slide. Hip hop it. Is that the lyric? I don't fucking know. Again, do I know what I'm doing? No. I don't. I'm just hoping for the best. You know, for this Stay Wet palette, I feel like the paints are already fucking dry. But to be honest, I did dry the paper because the last time I didn't, and I felt like it was way too wet. But now I feel like it's too dry, and I feel like my paints are dry, and there is not enough paint on my palette. But it's okay, I guess. I don't hate this color, but I don't think I'll be using it. Well, actually, I don't know. No, probably not. This looks like a fucking mess, and it's pissing me off, but it's okay. I don't know. It's whatever. I think I'm gonna move on. New angle and different lighting. I did, in fact, have to pause yesterday because I had to make dinner. Yeah, so yesterday, after I mixed my palette, I did use that middle purple color for an underpainting that I did not film because I was not feeling very confident, if you will, in what I was doing. But yeah, it's another day and a different time, and let's get back to it. My palette is a little moist, but it feels mostly dry. So we'll see how that goes. Sometimes I feel a type of way when I'm filming the process so early on, because sometimes I don't trust that it will look good, and right now I feel like it looks ugly, but it's okay. And I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, am I trying to glaze, or am I just putting pigment on the paper hoping something happens? Honestly, probably a mix of both. But you know, I think I do want to kind of try to glaze. That's not good. See, that's not good. That's not good. It's like lifting. This is why I don't fucking work with gouache, bro. And you know what I should do when that happens? It's called put the fucking brush down. Yeah. Am I gonna do that? No, I'm just gonna continue to frustrate myself. I hear my cat meowing. He's making strange noises. Usually, he keeps me company when I'm in here, but he likes to get on my desk. I don't really want him on my desk right now because I have water on my desk. Oh, and I did paint my nails yesterday because it was either that or cutting them all short, because sometimes I get annoyed when my nails are long but not painted. Looks the same to me. This is great. Off to an amazing start. And guess what? We've reached that point where I indeed have to mix colors again. Great. But while I am mixing a darker shade of brown, we'll let this part dry so that I can come back into it. Do you guys want to see where I keep my oil? Not my oils. My camera is really close to my sketchbook and I don't want to move it, but this is my little pencil case that I keep my gouaches in. I know it's blurry, but it's okay. You get the gist. I've literally had this since I was like in elementary school, and I remember picking it out vividly in my memory at a Walmart. I don't remember what grade I was going into, but I do remember, oh, I wanted this because monsters, duh. Typically when I oil paint, I work thin to thick. That's why I can usually glaze. And like, I guess in a way, I'm trying to apply those techniques to gouache, but instead of using linseed oil or some kind of medium, it's water, which can work. But the problem is, what I'm facing right now is that in certain spots, the paint underneath reactivates with the water. That looks like dog shit. This is why I usually don't film my process, because I feel embarrassed showing this shit. This is still wet. And I also think I'm being very impatient right now, which is very likely. Very likely. Fuck, I almost spilled all of my water on my desk. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna just take a moment and come back. So maybe this is more than what I expected in terms of taking a break. I did pretty much finish. And when I tell you that it went horribly. I was so annoyed at a certain point that I really considered painting over it. When in doubt, paint it black. Like, paint it all. Just paint over it. I did not, and I continued. And I'm not, like, 100% happy with it. For some reason, I couldn't get the yellows more vibrant as the reference. I don't even want to show the reference because, honestly, I'm embarrassed. And that's why I had to take a break and just paint with music on in the background and try to focus on what the hell I was doing. I'm still embarrassed. I think it's ugly. And it looks more like an apple than it does a peach, but it's okay. But yeah, I couldn't seem to get the yellows where I wanted it to be. So I'm going to use a colored pencil. I need to sharpen the white because I might also use the white. And then we'll see how that goes. So like I said, I don't remember what the hell I talked about yesterday, but I think I mentioned that this is practice for a little series that I wanted to do in oils. And as you can see here, there's another sketch of another fruit, and it's a pomegranate, which after this peach, not looking forward to doing in gouache. I have a strawberry on the other page. I don't want to move my setup at the moment, but I do have a strawberry on the other page, and I think I'm going to gesso the strawberry and paint oils in my sketchbook. Never done that. Don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know if it's going to really work, but I don't care because I know that strawberry is going to piss me off. And if this peach was bad, I can only imagine how the strawberry will be. Kind of hating this. It's okay. Can the white save it? Probably not. Well, actually, maybe. I don't think so. Low-key, when in doubt, mix media. Because sometimes you just need a little something with something else. On the camera, it doesn't look that bad. From what I can see in my little guy on the back of my camera, the screen on the back of my camera, I don't remember what it's called. It doesn't look so bad, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. I've been staring at this for too long that it looks like a pile of mud, like a Skittle melting. Like a bunch of Skittles melting to the point where, actually no, correction. It's orange, red, yellow Skittles all melting, and it's this is where all the Skittles are, and they're like becoming brown. That is what this looks like. Maybe I shouldn't talk shit about my stuff, but hey, I'm the one who made it. So yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go bleach my eyeballs real quick, and then I'll come back and let y'all know the verdict. So I did not successfully bleach my eyes. It seems I've misplaced it. I did feed my shitlings, and I did a little, pop of color for the background or whatever to kind of separate it from the rest of the sketches. If I look from far away, I think it doesn't look that bad. If I don't look at the reference picture, I don't think it looks that bad. And if I glance at it, I don't think it looks that bad. But the more I stare at it, the more it pisses me off. But that's how I feel right now in the moment, because I'm not going to touch it again. I'm done, okay? I'm done. I don't remember if I was going to say anything else, but I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm going to write down all the colors I used. I don't believe I used primary blue, but I also don't fucking remember. Oh, yeah, let me show y'all. Oh, everything's falling apart. Let me show you. I think before and after palette reveals, I don't know if they're a thing, but they should be, because sometimes I don't know if sometimes I'll see an Instagram post that has the painting and the palette that they're working on, and I'm like, how do you keep that looking so neat? Mine look like a swamp. Looks like a swamp of color, and they get messy, and if I have more space, they get even messier. Probably later this week I'll do the pomegranate, and maybe next week I'll work on the strawberry, because I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be home over the weekend. I don't think it was awful. I know my opinion will change in a few days when I look at it again, or when I'm editing this video. I know my opinion will change. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, even though I was frustrated and I felt like it sucked the entire time and I had no idea what I was doing, but it's okay. At least I tried. Because that's just becoming my motto. At least I tried. At least I fucking tried. And, I do want to get better with gouache. And I feel like the more practice I do, the more I'll be able to do it. But again, that strawberry, I can show you. That strawberry. Fuck that strawberry. I'm not doing that strawberry in gouache. I am going to try to do it in oil, because I'm going to want to burn my sketchbook if I do it in gouache. And maybe I'll feel the same way with oils. Who knows? Because I've never painted with oils on this paper. Anyways, sorry if the lighting looks like shit. Sorry if this video looks like shit. I'm trying, okay? But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you drew or painted or did something. If not, just watched and enjoyed my process. However not great it was to film. But yeah, we'll see what the future has in store. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.